Hello students, I am Siddharth Thapa. We are back again with this chapter, methods of wage payment. Earlier classes we had learned two methods, straight piece rate system and ordinary time rate system. Today we will be dealing with differential piece rate system. So what is differential piece rate system? Before we go to this point, like in last class we had learned ordinary time rate system. The problem with ordinary time rate system was that both efficient as well as inefficient workers were being paid the same amount of remuneration. So hence there was no extra remuneration or there was no reward for the efficient workers. This was the main disadvantage of this system. Under differential piece rate system, what we do is that there will be different piece rates for efficient workers and as well as inefficient workers. It means that efficient workers will be paid at a higher piece rate, but the inefficient workers will be paid at a rate lesser than those rates paid to the efficient workers. So differential piece rate system is a system of wage payment where arrangements are made to pay more wages to the skilled workers as they can produce more products as compared to the unskilled workers in the same time duration. The main objective of this system is to encourage the efficient workers to increase the volume of production so that on a large scale we can say that it helps in reducing the per unit cost of production. So under this method, first the Taylor's differential piece rate system. Under this system, what is done is that Taylor has advocated two wage rates for two different levels of workers. That means the workers which are efficient, who produce more than or produce standard production, are paid at a rate higher than the normal piece rate, while the inefficient workers are paid at a piece rate which is less than normal piece rate. Okay, you can see here when the workers produce less than 100% efficiency, only 83% of piece rate is paid to the inefficient workers. Whereas when workers work at or above 100% efficiency, they will be paid at a rate of 175% of normal piece rate. So you have to remember these differentials provided by Taylor. So what this system promotes is that efficient workers should be rewarded for their efficiency, whereas inefficient workers should be penalized for their inefficiency. So we will go to the advantages of this system. The main advantage is that the method of paying remuneration is simple. The calculations of remunerations are also simple. Another main advantage is that the efficient workers are rewarded handsomely for their efficiency. Again, due to higher wage rate of efficient workers, the workers tend to save more time. That means the disadvantages of idle time can be reduced through this method. Also, since efficient workers are being paid at a higher rate, it encourages the inefficient workers to work more hard or put in more effort. So it creates a sense of competition among the workers. This method also has certain disadvantages, like the inefficient workers are penalized by reduction in their wage rate. That means the inefficient workers earn less than the normal rate provided by the concern. Again, another disadvantage faced by this method is that there is no minimum guaranteed wages for the inefficient workers. That is why this method is mostly opposed by the trade unions. Again, the disadvantage of this system is that the wage rate difference between efficient workers and inefficient workers becomes very large. So these were the advantages and disadvantages of this system. So we will proceed to the solving a question under this method. So we will proceed to the question. Look at the question provided. You have to you have to calculate the earnings of two workers, Sunny and Binny, under two methods, straight piece rate system and Taylor's differential piece rate system. Provided the standard time per unit, that means standard time for producing 1 unit is 36 seconds and normal rate per hour is rupees 3. Differentials to be applied, there is a separate differential given that 80% of piece rate is paid to workers who produce below standard and 120% of piece rate is provided to workers who produce at or above standard. The working hours in a day is 8 hours and both workers have produced, Sunny 900 units and Binny 700 units. So we will proceed with the question. First, we will try to solve standard production per hour. Standard time per unit is 36 seconds. That means in an hour there is 60 seconds into 60 minutes, which equals to 3600 seconds, and each product utilizes 36 seconds. That means 3600 divided by 36 equals 100 units. So standard production per hour is 100 units. Again, they work for, both the workers work for 8 hours. So standard production per day equals 100 units per hour into they work for 8 hours, that means 800 units. That means the standard production for a day fixed by the concern is 800 units. That means every worker should produce a minimum of 800 units per day. But if we look at the figures, units produced by Sunny is 900 units and units produced by Binny is 700 units. So if we look at the question, the standard production is 800 units per day. Sunny has produced 900 units. He has produced more than the standard production per day. Whereas Binny has produced only 700 units, which is less than the standard production of 800 units. So the differentials to be applied %, of piece rate for below standard and 120% of piece rate for at or above standard. So we see that Sunny has produced 900 units. That means he has produced more than 800 units. So his production is above standard. So this differential will be applied to Sunny. Whereas Bini has produced 700 units, which is less than 800 units. So to Bini, this differential will be applied. So we proceed to calculate the wages of workers. Wages of Sunny equals 900 units into, it should be multiplied by rate per unit. But if we look at the question, you will get normal rate per hour. So like in last class also, we have to convert rate per hour into rate per unit. So rate per unit would be standard rate per hour divided by standard production per hour, that is 100 units, or rupees 0.03 per unit. So wages of Sunny equals 900 units into rate per unit equals 0.03. Since Sunny has produced more than the standard production, so he will be provided with 120% of normal piece rate. So 120% of normal piece rate equals rupees 32.40. So you may have noticed that Bini, who has produced more above standard, is being given 120% of normal piece rate. Again, wages of Bini. Bini has produced 700 units into rate per unit is 0.03 into, since Bini has produced 700 units, which is less than standard, so he will be given only at the rate of 80%. So 80% of 0.03 will be taken as his rate per unit. It amounts to, so you can see here the efficient workers are being rewarded with higher wage rate, whereas inefficient workers are being penalized by lower piece rate. So the main criticism this method faces is that the inefficient workers are penalized very much. The efficient workers are being rewarded, that is justifiable, but inefficient workers are being severely penalized. So the main criticism faced by this system is this point. So we'll go to the next method. In order to resolve this criticism, another method is being promoted by Merrick. So under this system, Merrick has suggested 3 different rates of wage payment. If you see at the differentials, you can see that workers who have produced less than 83% efficiency, they are being paid at a normal piece rate. That means inefficient workers are not penalized. They are being given the same piece rate. Again, if any worker whose efficiency lies between 83 and 100% efficiency, 110% of normal piece rate is given. And those workers who are efficient, who have more than 100% efficiency, they are being given at a rate of 120% of normal piece rate. So if we look at this Merrick's differential piece rate system and Taylor's differential piece rate system, in both cases, the efficient workers are being rewarded by a higher wage rate. But in case of Taylor's differential piece rate system, the inefficient workers were being penalized, but in Merrick's differential piece rate system, there is no such penalty to the inefficient workers. So we'll proceed with this system. We'll first conclude with the advantages and disadvantages. I'll show you a problem later on. So the main advantages is that the inefficient workers are not being penalized. So unlike Taylor's method, this method does not suggest any penal measures against inefficient workers. Again, another great advantage this method provides is that the minimum guaranteed wages is ensured to all the workers. That means the workers, when they work throughout the day, they produce a certain units of product, they will be ensured at a normal piece rate of wage payment. Again, another advantage of this method is that the trade unions do not oppose this method because they do not find any discrepancy in the wage payment system. Again, another advantage this method enjoys is that the wage rate between the efficient workers, semi-efficient workers and inefficient workers is not widely deviated. That means the efficient workers are paid higher rate of wages, but even inefficient workers are being paid at a nominal rate. So these were the advantages of Merrick's differential piece rate system. So we will proceed with the disadvantages. The main disadvantage this method faces is that since there is no penalty for the inefficient workers, what they do is they tend not to increase their effort, or they do not put in sufficient effort to increase their efficiency. Another disadvantage is that this method increases the clerical work very considerably because the concern has to maintain record of each and every worker's performance. The last disadvantage of this problem, this system is that the wage rate payment between efficient and inefficient workers does not deviate considerably, but if we compare the wage difference between a highly efficient worker and a worker with a very low efficiency, the wage rate deviates very considerably. So this method also provides higher rate to efficient workers and lower rate to inefficient workers. So after these disadvantages, we will proceed with another question solving under Merrick's differential piece rate system. So if you look at the question, you have to calculate the wages of three workers, Amar, Akbar and Anthony, under Merrick's differential piece rate system. Additional information provided is that piece rate, normal piece rate is rupees 4 per unit. Standard output is 48 units per day of 8 hours. Outputs of Amar, Akbar and Anthony were 32 units, 42 units and 50 units respectively. So, the standard output per day, it is provided in the question itself, is 48 units per day. Units produced, Amar 32 units, Akbar 42 units and Anthony 50 units. So the standard production were 48 units, Amar produced 32 units, Akbar produced 42 units and Anthony 50 units. Under this method, what you do is, first you measure the efficiency of the workers. So in order to calculate their efficiency, look at the calculation carefully. Efficiency of Amar. Amar produced 32 units. Divide by the standard production 48 into 100. So it amounts to 66.67%. Efficiency of Akbar. Akbar produced 42 units out of 48 into 100. It amounts to 87.5%. Again, efficiency of Anthony, 50 units produced out of 48 into 100. 50 divided by 48 into 100 amounts to 104.17%. So these were the level of efficiency of these workers. The Amar efficiency of Amar was 66.67, efficiency of Akbar 87.5, and efficiency of Anthony 104.17. So we have calculated the efficiency of the workers. The differentials to be applied under Merrick's differential piece rate system. If efficiency is less than 83%, normal piece rate is provided. Between 83 and 100%, 110% of normal piece rate, above 100%, 120% of normal piece rate is provided. So we will use these differentials of Merrick. So according to these differentials, the wages of Amar. Amar has produced 32 units. Into normal rate is rupees 4, it is provided in the question, into efficiency of Amar is 66.67%. That means he has produced less than 83% efficiency. So under this differential, he will be provided with normal piece rate. That means rupees 4 equals it rupees 128, since he has produced only 66.67% efficiency. Again, wages of Akbar. Akbar has produced 42 units. Into rate per unit is 4, and Akbar's efficiency is 87.5%. So his efficiency lies between 83 and 100%. So he will be provided with 110% of normal piece rate. So his wages will be into 110% equals rupees 184.80. And finally, wages of Anthony. Anthony, he has produced 50 units. 50 into normal piece rate is 4. The efficiency of Anthony is 104%. So he belongs to this category. His efficiency is above 100%. He will be provided with 120% of normal piece rate into 120%. Equals rupees 240. So we have solved this problem. So accordingly, what we have done is, first we have measured the efficiency of individual workers. Amar, he has produced at an efficiency rate of 66.67%. So according to the differential, he will pay it at a normal piece rate. So he was paid at a normal piece rate of rupees 4. Akbar, he has produced at an efficiency rate of 87.5%. According to the differential, he will be paid at a rate of 110% of normal piece rate. So he was paid at a rate of 110% of rupees 4. Again, lastly, Anthony, who had produced at an efficiency rate of 104.17%. So his efficiency is above 100%. So he will be paid at a rate of 120% of normal piece rate. So rupees 120% of rupees 4 amounts to rupees 240. So we have completed two methods, differential piece rate methods, Taylor's differential and Merrick's differential piece rate method of wage payment. Next class we will be doing another bonus methods, incentive methods, Rowan plan and Halsey plan. Okay, thank you.